What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph!
You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. And tonight, alright, we're going back to Sleep Token. Yes, indeed, Sleep Token fans, feeling you. Come on now. Here we go. Before we go any further, for those of you who are feeling inclined to doing all of the clicks and the likes and the bibbidi-bobbidi-bop, do me a favor, before you do all that stuff, please watch the whole video first, okay? Give me a chance to actually earn those clicks and likes. Now, after the video's done, if you still feel like doing all those clicks and likes, then by all means, feel free to click away. This comes as a request from Charles B, and this is actually one of Charles's 3 prioritized requests for the month of November for being a gold tier member on the Patreon page. So, here you go, Charles. Hope you enjoy the show, man. Charles wanted to see me react to this. It is Sleep Token, and I really hope I don't butcher this name too badly. It's Sleep Token with a tune called Telomeres. Now, have I heard the song before? No, I have not. To the best of my knowledge, this does not resonate with me in any way, shape, or form. However, there's always a possibility I may have heard the song in passing and I just don't realize it. So as always, if I start listening to the song and I suddenly go, wait a second, yeah, I've heard this song before, I'll let you know.
That's the truth.
You know me, I'm going to be honest with you guys. As always, Charles has provided an intro for me to read to all of you, so here we go. The last Sleep Token track you checked out, Mine, was the 3rd song you've listened to from their 2nd album, This Place Will Become Your Tomb. While I gave you the first 3 songs in a different order than they appear on the album, the next 2 you'll be diving into, Telomeres and High Water, actually follow one another in the official track listing. The word telomeres in the title is the name of the protective caps at the end of chromosomes that shorten as we age. We're getting into a biology lesson here. Acting as our quote-unquote biological clock, which connects to the themes of the song lyrics, which are about existence and the passage of time. Boy, we're getting deep on this one. It's not a coincidence that Telomeres was specifically placed as the 10th track on the album. You see, all the songs were listed with Roman numerals on the official album listing, which meant Telomeres was marked with X, as the letter X is also used to designate the X chromosome. Now, with all the Sleep Tokens reactions you have done so far, you may or may not have noticed that despite them being an alternative/prog metal band, there hasn't been a single track so far that featured a guitar solo. That's true! We have not heard a single guitar solo on any of these songs. Telomeres stands out as a key highlight in Sleep Token's discography, as it is the first time Vessel actually delivers his first ever guitar solo. The song also continues to showcase the band's signature blend of genres, incorporating, for example, some jazzy elements here, along with some noticeable Deftones influences, like the track of theirs you reacted to some months ago, Gods. However, that does not mean you should go into Telomeres expecting it to sound anything like Gods. I trust me. I think Gods was a one-time thing. I think that was a one-time miracle. But Telomeres is similar to Gods in one other noteworthy way. As of this writing, Sleep Token has yet to play this song live at any of their concerts. That's criminal with Gods. That is absolutely criminal. They should be putting that in their set list for sure on their live shows. Alright, anyway, let's see. This was posted by Sleep Token, surprise, surprise, and the video has 872,000 views. It'll get you there. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. Link to the original video will be down below in the video description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Let's get started. What do you say? Are you ready? Are you ready? Because here we go. All right, here we go. Sleep Token, Telomeres, visualizer. Cool. All right, let's do this.
All right, boy, let's do this.
You guide me to safety and silence. As you breathe me out, I drink you in. And we go beyond the farthest reaches, where the light bends, erupts beneath us. And I know as you collapse into me, this is the start of something.
I like that. Resolve to the major. Always resolve to the major. Always resolving to the major. Every single time. Okay, now look. I have mixed feelings about that. Sometimes the major is just very straight ahead. Sometimes it's just a very simple major triad, and boom, 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 1, 3, 5, 8. It's very obvious. Sometimes it's an inversion, and that's fine. I got no problem. Sometimes it's an alt. Maybe they'll add the fourth in there, but it's still a major chord nonetheless. Here's my thoughts on that. When you do it every single time, by default, it's going to be predictable. Okay, you're doing this every single time. It doesn't matter where you go. You go minor to major. You're starting on the major. You go to minor, resolve to major, or you'll go major, and then you'll go to for example, a inversion to the major, or major to inversion. But no matter what, it always resolves to major. And no matter how or where in the song it happens, it's always going to come back to that major. Now, predictable, yes, because you're doing it every single time. You're setting yourself up to become predictable. I'm sorry, but that's going to happen. But the thing is, predictable as it may be, number one, I've never had a problem with songs being predictable. As a matter of fact, I find that people have a sense of comfort when it comes to predictability. When people are able to anticipate what's coming. Oh, I know, I can see where it's going to go. They're going to resolve to that major chord, and then when it does, it gives them, it's a false sense, but it gives them a sense of accomplishment. I was able to anticipate and guess that major chord was going to happen. So it gives them that sense of accomplishment. It's a false sense, yes, absolutely. But it's still a sense of accomplishment. And with that sense of accomplishment comes comfort. So for that reason alone, it's perfectly valid. I got no issue with it at all. Number two, just because it's predictable doesn't mean it sounds bad. As a matter of fact, it sounds good. It's very pleasing to the ear. Major chords are always going to be more pleasing to the ear by default. Now, I like minor chords. Don't get me wrong. I love metal, and most metal is in what? Minor keys. But there's no denying that when it comes to our audio sensory, when it comes down to what we hear and what we feel, major chords are always going to be more pleasing to the ear than minor chords every single time. It's just, that's how we're wired. It's going to happen. We may like minor chords more. I certainly do, but major chords are definitely more pleasing to the ear. So that's good. I got no issue with it. I got no issue with anything I'm hearing. I love how we had that intro. The intro didn't last for very long either. It only lasted, what, a minute and a half about? Probably less than that, before everything else kicked in. And when everything else kicked in, it was sudden. It was impactful. It wasn't gradual. We didn't have a staggered entrance of voices. Oh, let's add the synth sound. Let's add the guitar sound. Or let's add the bass sound first. And then we'll add the drums underneath. And we'll have the drums crescendo as we add in the guitar sound. No, everything came in, boom, impactful. Coming out of that piano and vocal intro, very effective. Very, very effective. If nothing else, it got your attention. So that's good. Let's keep going here. Now we've got the drums and the bass mixed in with the piano. Nice fill there. See, major. We all in that minor a long time there, but we hit the major before we resolved, so that's fine. Not to the one. Wait. Where did we go there? Two. Yeah, we went to the 2. From the major 3 to the 4, we went down to the 2. A minor third jump. Okay. Are we going to have a bridge that's dominantly in minor? That would be a great contrast. I really hope that's what's happening here. I hope this is a bridge, and I hope it's dominantly in minor. That would feel nice, especially when we come out of it, coming back into the main riff, which is dominantly major. That's going to feel really nice if that happens. Here's that guitar solo that he was telling me about. Okay. Okay, I was half right. The bridge was dominantly minor. It was absolutely minor for the most part. But we're not coming back into the main riff with a major feel again. We're going into a guitar solo. Let's see how the guitar solo is built. Is it built around the major or is it built around the minor? Let's find out. Nice drumming. Off the triple field. Okay. I see what they did. I see what they did. They okay. So they had this bridge, right? Very minor dominant. Now here's the thing. You could look at this as two different ways. They had the bridge, they had the guitar solo, and then they had a repeat of the bridge. That's one way of looking at it. And I wouldn't dispute it. They came back to the same bridge again, much shortened, obviously. Only did like a half of it. The way I'm looking at it, though, I know this is going to be a little bit of a weird way to look at it, but the way I'm looking at it is this. That whole section that we heard, including the guitar solo, was the bridge. You had the first half of the bridge, very minor, everything minor dominant. We started the second half of the bridge with a guitar solo. That was about half the length of the bridge, finishing out with the second half of the bridge. Back to that very minor dominant feel again. I feel like the guitar solo was actually a part of the bridge. I know that's going to be a little weird for a lot of people to understand and comprehend, but that's how I'm seeing it. That guitar solo was nice. I like it. It did exactly what I had a feeling was going to happen. Very major dominated guitar solo. A lot of riffs following the major scales and resolving on major resolution notes, like, you know, getting up to the 7 to the root, you know, holding on the 7, but going up either by a bend or a step up to the root. Just as an example, or like the minor 3 to the major 3, or the major 3 to the 4. Any one of those would work. They all fit. Yeah, nice solo. Not overly complex, but it was definitely, the solo was definitely fitting for the song. It definitely fit the context, without question. Let's finish this out and we'll get to the review. Let's see how we can end this. Back to the intro. Just piano and vocals. No, strings. Okay. The major 3 and the 4th really kind of sticking out. Huh. Da 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 da. Yeah, it's the 3rd and the 4th, all right. Yeah. It all makes sense. It all makes sense. Not my cup of tea. Not normally something I would listen to. I'm gonna be honest with you, folks. I probably won't listen to this again, but I see the direction. I see where they were going with it, and it all makes sense. Let me get my thoughts together. I'll see you in the review, and we'll talk about it. Well, there you go, folks. That was Sleep Token with, I really hope I don't butcher this name, with a tune called Telomeres. This was a request from Charles B. And this was actually one of Charles's 3 prioritized requests for the month of November for being a gold tier member on the Patreon page. So there you go, Charles. Hope you enjoyed the show, man. I did think about it, and there was quite a bit to talk about, but luckily, most of what I want to talk about fit into really like 1 or 2 things. So I was able to condense quite a bit. So I'm going to be using some generalizations, just to kind of, so we're not here for 30 minutes. Hopefully we won't be, but then again, you never know. I may tangent. Next thing you know, we're here for 30 minutes. That's happened before, so we'll see. I'm going to try to keep it short. I'm going to do my best, but no promises. Let's start off with the score first. On a scale of 1 to 10, I am going to give that an 8.2. Yeah, 8.2. I feel good about that score. Let me tell you why.
Why?
Okay, first things first, an 8.2. What does that mean? Well, an 8.2 would translate to a great scale rating, so overall, I think this was a great song. It would also get 4 to 5 stars and an A- letter grade. So there you go, an 8.2, great scale rating, 4 to 5 stars, and an A- letter grade. Now, how did I come up with that score? So glad you asked. I'm just gonna say this right now. The song was enjoyable. I don't regret listening to it. Having said that, though, I will probably never listen to this again. A little mellow for me. A little too laid back, a little too mellow. Not really in my wheelhouse. It doesn't really blow my skirt up, okay? There were a couple of things that I really enjoyed, but for the most part, not my thing. Just because I personally don't like it doesn't mean I don't think this is gonna deserve the score I gave it. I based the score on objectivity, not subjectivity. Going back to the intro, going back to what Charles gave me in the intro, the blend of genres. Yes, I did see that. In particular, the jazz elements. Absolutely, I saw that happening, especially with the moving from the major third to the fourth as a resolution. Very jazz to do. Classical as well. Definitely got the metal influence for sure. I don't know if someone he mentioned Deftones. I didn't hear it. I mean, I'm not saying it's not there. I'm sure other people are gonna listen to this and go, "Oh yeah, I totally hear I definitely hear Deftones in this." I don't. I'm not seeing it, but maybe in the bridge, maybe in the bridge section, maybe that's what he's talking about. But even then, I didn't really get the Deftones. You know what I really felt? And this, okay, hear me out here, and please don't crucify me or the song for me saying this. I'm gonna say, I'm gonna regret saying this. I know it, but this is what I feel. I can honestly see this song being used in some kind of a musical, like in some sort of a, I don't know. I don't know about Andrew Lloyd Webber. I don't know if I go that far, but in some musical on Broadway, I can absolutely see this song being used. Maybe cut out some of the elements and replace them with other instrumentation. So I'm just talking about voicings, but the chordal progressions, the melodic lines, the bridge in particular, I really kind of see that being, well, maybe they would actually have to cut the bridge out. But the main theme of the song, the verses and the choruses, I could absolutely see that being used in some sort of musical on Broadway. I could absolutely see that happening. It's not bad. It's catchy. There is some catchiness there for sure, especially in that chorus. The fact that the song constantly resolved around the major. Now, there's a lot of ways we could have gotten to the majors, a lot of inversions we could do, and they definitely took advantage of those. But I never, except for the bridge, other than the bridge, I never felt like the song resolved on a minor. And it didn't matter where we go. We go major, 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 major inversion, major, major, major inversion, major minor inversion, or major minor major. There's a lot of ways that this can be done, and it was always revolving around the major resolution of every single phrase. So I got no problem with it. It's very uplifting sounding. It's very, I'm going to say this, and again, please don't crucify me for this, very empowering sounding to some extent. And I got no issue with that. I got no problem with that whatsoever. Just like I got no problem if you know, some playwright wants to come along, you know, write a musical, and they want to take this song and, you know, work it into the musical. Hey, no problem. Do it. Do your thing. The drumming on this, very nice. Two definitely showed some nice chops on this one. I heard a couple of fills that really kind of got my attention. I was like, almost to the point, and again, this is just me, but from what I was hearing, there were times where some of his fills, not quite, but almost stuck out. Almost went, whoa, that's a little much, you know, it's a little too much for this style of song. No, but he still was able to rein it in just enough to keep it tasteful. But there were some really nice, aggressive style fills that he did for transitions. And then there were other fills he did that were very laid back, like the triplet fill that he did at about the 2.5, 2:45 mark, somewhere in there. He did this one, I think it was about there. He did this fill that was really based on the triplet. And I was like, that was nice. That was very tastefully done. No, the drumming on this was nice. I had no issue with the drumming whatsoever. Vocally, Vessel is very hit and miss with me. There are some songs, gods, there's some songs where he really cuts loose and he really delivers a very powerful vocal performance. And then there are other songs where it's very breathy, very spacious, and thin, yes, but thin with intent. And I know it goes along with the storytelling and with his delivery. He's intentionally doing it. I understand that. I get it. But I'm not necessarily a fan of that. I'm not always the biggest fan of his vocals. I'm not. And this had its moments where I was really digging it, and I had other moments with this where I was like, I understand why. I get why. I'm not a fan, though. But it fits the context of the song. It does. But again, it just goes back to the fact that I'm probably never going to listen to this song ever again. No, but his vocals were fine. His vocals fit the context of the song. They did the job they needed to do. So, there it is. As far as that guitar solo goes, I liked it. I wish they would add more guitar solos into more songs. Hopefully in the future, with future recordings, hopefully we'll see more guitar solos because he can solo. And I like how they did it with the solo in the middle of those bridge sections. Again, people can make the argument they do the bridge twice around the guitar solo. That argument could absolutely be made and it would stand. But I look at it more as that entire section was one long bridge. You had half of the bridge, and then the second half was the guitar solo and the other half of the bridge, or the last quarter of the bridge. The guitar solo being the third quarter. So that argument can be made as well. That's how I'm interpreting it. That's how I feel it. But no, overall, I think this was a good song. And not a good song, a great song. The songwriting makes perfect sense. It was very pleasing to the ear. I love the major orientation. That intro is very effective, especially the way it's set up. The song actually coming in with that impactful hit, with every voice coming in, no staggered entrances. Everybody coming in all at once. That was nice, really nice. The outro with the strings, it is what it is. I mean, it sounded good. I'm not opposed to it. Me personally, I did kind of hope that they were going to do the outro the way they did the intro with piano and vocals. I was really kind of hoping for that.
You can't always get what you want.
but the strings, nice substitution. I will absolutely give it that. And I love how they were really making the major three and the major three and the four the dominant voicings. That was really nice. It again just added to the entire motif of the song. So yeah, 8.2. I feel good with that score, and that's where we're gonna stay. So let's wrap everything up here in a nice shiny bow, shall we? We have an 8.2, which is a great scale rating, 4 to 5 stars, and an A- letter grade. Take your pick, I don't care, whichever one of those floats your boat. Final word, final score, I have spoken. Well, that's gonna do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Hopefully I was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, then I did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you guys feel like joining the fan base, go ahead and click on that button down there. If you guys want to like the video, go ahead and like the video. If you guys want to ring the bell, go ahead and ring the bell. It honestly doesn't make a difference at all to me, but if you guys feel like doing these things, well then by all means, feel free to do so. Well, that's going to do it for the night, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later, peace.